we're going to start this stream off with some positive news. That's right. PlayStation finally got a W. A W that's consumer friendly. Now, I don't know why this wasn't a thing in the first place, but I might as well make y'all aware of it because here on this stream, we like to bring power to the consumer, even though the consumer refuses to empower themselves. And that's why they're out here spending hundreds of dollars on VC and NBA 2K, even though 2K16 at the time of the stream is not even out yet, which we're going to talk about later. Let's talk about the positive. According to DualShockers, long requested PSN store feature is finally becoming a reality. With digital games being more convenient to buy than physical games, there's one more thing that it still can't beat, and that's limiting accidental purchase, at least on the PlayStation Store. Who's accidentally buying things besides maybe, besides little kids and stuff like, my bad, I got a message. First of all, why are little kids still buying games and microtransactions on y'all phones, consoles, and PCs? Y'all don't got passwords on y'all accounts. You don't got passwords on the purchases. I don't know if you know, but most of these online services, they make it to where not only do you need the password to log into the account, obviously, but you can also set a password for a purchase. Like, are you sure? Put the password in type shit. Y'all don't have that on your account. If you have kids, you probably should. Ever since the introduction of PlayStation's online digital store in the PS3 era, gamers have had to contend with accidental purchases. That changing in the US is starting today. What's the name of the browser? It's called Comet, my web browser. Exactly. You need a password. Once you turn on the console, you need a PSN to make purchases. Yep. Sony is now allowing gamers to request a refund on purchases made on the PlayStation Store. However, for those thinking of abusing it, you can't play a game for 24 hours and then ask for a refund or any of that sort. When it comes to games and DLC refunds, Sony requires that buyers has not downloaded or streamed the game/DLC, and the refund request must be made within 14 days of the purchase. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like PlayStation is improving their refund process, making it easier, but you have to be aware. If somebody buys something on your account or you buy something and you realize you don't want it, you cannot play it, which means, unfortunately, Steam still has the best refund system, because for those unaware, on PC gaming, on Steam, you can buy a game and you have 2 hours to play the game, meaning you boot the game up, you play it for 2 hours, and if you don't like it, you can return it, no questions asked. So I could argue every game has a demo if you have the money for it on Steam. And the best part is that 2 hours is not predicated on whether or not you just bought it. So you could buy a game and then a month later, you never touch it. You finally boot it up. If you play it for an hour and a half and you realize it's not for you, you can return it. No questions asked. How do I know? I've done it right here on this stream for games I don't like. This is better, but just be aware, free trial type shit. Just be aware you cannot play the game. So I don't know how this is good, but I don't know how effective this is going to be, because like I said, why don't I just put a password on your damn credit card? In a world where your child, let me turn that off. Shout out to Childish Gambino with the sub, appreciate it. In a world where your child has access to your credit card, once they buy and download the game, you probably are already, you're probably at work, or you're probably in the kitchen, you're probably watching, you're doing something else. That's how they're able to even use your credit card. You're not paying attention to the game. So if they buy something off your credit card, your debit card, they more than likely are going to boot the game up. By the time that happens, you can't refund it. So like it's a W, but it's a lowercase W. I don't know how helpful this is going to be. This will be helpful for adults who make a purchases and then realize it ain't for them. But like stopping kids from doing stuff, I don't know. Bluey's the best game. If you want to see whether an accidental purchase is still allowed to be refunded, you can log into your account, check your transaction history, and select eligible transaction. Sony has confirmed that players cannot refund PSN wallet top-ups. What the fuck does that mean? What's a PSN wallet top-up? That sounds like some type of sexual favor. Yeah, man, I ain't got it, man, but maybe I can give you a PSN top-up. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Shorty didn't have no gas in the car. I told her I'm gonna need a PSN top up if you want me to fill up the tank, bro. This is definitely a step in the right direction. While I assume that most people want to be able to refund games they're unhappy with, that seems like something Sony won't ever allow, as it can be abused quite easily. This new refund option can, at the very least, save you money if you accidentally buy DLC you didn't want to, or if your kid is playing with the controller and accidentally purchases something. Yeah, because a lot of y'all would abuse it, especially you 2K niggas, man. I can see a world where somebody buys a bunch of VC, puts it on their player, and then demands a refund after the VC is already spent. Man, the game wasn't to my standards. Really, they just made a shitty build. What's good with everybody coming through? Schedule 1 ripoffs. No, you're not getting a refund. Oh, it's a refill on a gift card. Okay. Do other adults not get notifications when their card is getting used? I'd be on that shit immediately. Everybody does get notifications, but you'd be surprised how many people don't pay attention to that stuff. You'd be surprised how many, and like I see it as a joke on Twitter all the time. You'd be surprised how many tweets I've seen where somebody's like, yo, does anybody else, like, when they log into their bank account, they close their eyes? Like, niggas be opening their bank account like this because they know they be living irresponsibly. They living paycheck to paycheck, but they still going out on the weekend. And then when it come time to pay the bills, when it come time to pay that credit card, they looking at their bank account. Oh, okay, I got a couple bucks left. Let's go out to eat. That's how people be living their life. It is what it is. But hey, power to the people. At least they are giving some more power to the PlayStation Nation. Not a big W, but a lowercase W. I'm gonna give him a little bit of clout. I'm gonna give him a little bit. Just a little bit, just a smidge. Just a smidge. Also, friendly reminder, I'm giving away an Alienware laptop before we get into the rest of the articles. Exclamation point giveaway in the chat. If you want to game in PC, you got like 5 days left. Type exclamation point giveaway in the chat. If you're watching on Hokage highlights, the link will be in the description box below. I will be sending it to somebody soon. It can play anything. Other articles I got for you. Black Ops 7. Oh, this is why this is the title of my current YouTube stream. Black Ops 7 scams Black Ops 6 fans. Black Ops 7 says no to your awful Call of Duty skins as it aims to be more authentic. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The game full of Beavis and Butthead, Nicki Minaj, Goku, and Captain Planet skins said, all that money that you spent. You said you need my address. You ain't win, nigga. Be quiet. The winner ain't been picked. All that money that you spent on them skins, you fat ass whales spending thousands of dollars, it will not be carrying over because there is a carryover system in Call of Duty. But the skins you bought, they said they're not doing it. And it's because they wanted to have a more authentic military shooter, which is interesting because if you've seen the gameplay in Black Ops 7, niggas is jetpacking, swinging around, flying futuristic guns. What the fuck are you talking about? Call of Duty's relentless stream of eccentric and bizarre cosmetics have been receiving increased levels of heat in recent months, only exacerbated by the recent success of Battlefield 6 beta and promises from EA to be more grounded, realistic FPS experience. While there's no doubt that people enjoy the zany crossover operators and ridiculous weapon variants, there's a general sense that things have gone too far, too Fortnite. Like, you look at the game and it's like, what is this? This is not what I grew up with. It seems the message is finally getting through as Activision has today acknowledged the criticism that Call of Duty is losing its identity and it's promising a more authentic experience for Black Ops 7. To ensure that, it's also ditching its cosmetic carry forward initiative that would have otherwise seen your skin collection from Black Ops 6 brought into Black Ops 7. Sorry, butthead enjoyers. So yeah, only certain skins, the realistic skins, are getting carried over into Black Ops 7. I'm not even going to read the rest of this because you get the gist of this. This is so fucking funny to me because if you've been in the stream about 2 weeks ago, an article came out where Call of Duty developers said, we ain't worried about Black Ops 6. We got our own thing going over here. We're too big to fail. Oh, but then when Black Ops 6's beta came out and everybody loved this shit, it broke pre-order orders for those unaware. There's over 1 million pre-orders for Black Ops 6 right now across every platform. And it's because people are loving the grounded, explosive, team-oriented military shooter. You cannot convince me that the success of the Battlefield 6 beta did not create this knee-jerk reaction. This was not in the plans. I guarantee you this decision was made in the last week. Because one of the things people have been saying about Battlefield 6 is we love the fact that it's not goofy. We want to play a fun military shooter. So now we went from we not scared to, oh, nah, we're only going to bring authentic skins in. And this is a stupid move. You guys put yourselves in this place by putting all this goofy ass shit that should have never been in the game. And the thing is, a bunch of people, millions of people, if not hundreds of thousands at least, are buying these skins. You created this system that carries over the content, and now you're telling them the money you spent doesn't carry over. I'd be pissed. I really need to start a consulting company because I feel like there's an easy solution to this. There's an easy solution to keep both sides happy. Instead of saying we don't want to bring the Beavis Butthead and the Nicki Minaj skins over to Black Ops 7, so you wasted your money. All you got to say is we've heard your feedback. There's a big portion of the Call of Duty community that wants a more authentic experience. So now we're going to implement a feature into Black Ops 7 that allows you, the user, to turn off all goofy skins, like being able to see them. So like they could put a setting in the game to where you, the viewer, click on the toggle and then you no longer see the Beavis and Butthead and Nicki Minaj and the Goku and Captain Planet skins. Instead, you would see the default military man. That way, the people who bought the skins can still be happy. And the people who don't want to see that shit don't have to fucking look at it. That's the solution. Lovely idea. Everybody would be happy, but instead you're about to piss off half of your fucking community. And the other solution was you should have just never put it in the game. Why the fuck is Sam Fisher Beavis Butthead in the fucking game, bruh? That actually bring a feature of value. Why is this in the game? Oh my God. Why is Zion Williamson running around with a big po' boy hitting niggas upside the head? It's fucking Call of Duty. It's funny. If you guys wanted to do this, they should have did this during Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. Why did you wait till Black Ops 7, the game where they're swinging around on slingshots and jetpacks, talking about we want to make a realistic shooter? Get the fuck out of here, nigga. The fuck out of here. So congratulations to Call of Duty community. You guys got scammed again. Those skins that you spent hundreds of dollars on didn't even last a fucking year. You can't even enjoy the new game. You got to play the old game, and nobody want to play Black Ops 6, man. It's not looking good for Black Ops 7. It's not looking good. It's not looking good, man. I can see Activision laughing their ass off of the community. This shit's fucking funny, man. Yeah, scam back to back. So that's my Black Ops news for y'all. Want to know something wild? Is niggas is using the Nicki Minaj skin to create not safe for work shit. I believe it. Motherfuckers is nasty. I hope they at least had fun with it while it lasted. I mean, if you bought it, I would imagine you had fun. Other news. Skate finally gets a release date. It's going into early access. EA's long-awaited Skate reboot finally has an early access release date, and the good news is you'll be able to play it for free in less than a month. Skate's early access launch begins on September 16th via PC, PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, and the Xbox Series. Anytime a new gen game comes to the PS4 and the Xbox Series, I mean, I've been said that this game has red flags all over it. The CEO has came out and said the focus for this game is the skins and the custom boards, not the gameplay, not the mission, not the cool structures, not structures, but the cool tricks that you can do. They said the focus is on customization. In my brain, that equates to microtransactions, right? So that's a big red flag. There was also an article that came out that said their focus at EA is live service games. They want to double down on Madden, FIFA. Skate was named, so microtransactions. That's another red flag. But then another red flag is the fact that it's coming to the PS4 and the Xbox One, which says to me they want to put it on this thing is coming to fucking Steam, the Epic Game Store, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, the Ouya, the fucking Amazon Luna. I think it's coming to the Google Stadia. The reason they putting this shit on everything is because they're trying to maximize the dollar, guys. This is not about creating the best, mobile. This is not about making the greatest experience. It's about making as much money as possible. I hope I'm wrong, though. As previously announced, you will need an internet connection to play the game, as well as an EA account to log in, which is also a red flag, because if this game flops and you enjoyed the game, when the servers shut down, guess what? You ain't playing it. Skate developer Full Circle, and keep in mind this game is in early access, so there's a high probability it'll never be finished. Skate developer Full Circle previously explained the need for an online connection as something required for its vision of a living, breathing, massively multiplayer skateboarding sandbox that's always online and always evolving. You'll see bigger things evolve, like changes to the city over time, the developer continued, as well as smaller things like live events and other in-game activities. Indeed, today's release date trailer focuses firmly on multiplayer gameplay with squads of skaters seen traversing the streets of San Vastrum. The game's open world features traffic and what looks like custom-made objects hung in the sky for you to try and skate upon. Skate was originally, yeah, blah, blah. Let's check out the new trailer. Damn, fucking play, bitch. All right, you want to play? We're going to YouTube. Let's see, skate. Always online tells you everything you know. I'm not saying this game is going to be bad. I just been trying to warn people, be cautiously optimistic about this one because this is not the EA of yesterday. This is the EA of today.
This is no ordinary city. In this civic symphony, each object holds latent potential. On the streets of San Vansterdam, a great migration is happening. The skaters are upon us.
Textures look musty. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of people are like, oh, this shit like a mobile. This shit looks like a mobile game. Like look at the draw distance. Outside of immediately what's in the frame, nothing else is loaded in. This shit looks like a fucking iPhone 11 game. Why does it seem like sports games are nothing but cash grabs? Seems like they're missing the fun. I'll tell you why, because sports gamers lack backbone. The good news is that extreme sports is a subsection of sports. So like, I'd imagine if people don't like skate, I feel like the skate audience will revolt because skate has a very rabid fan base. There are people that are still playing skate 2 and 3 to this day. I feel like if people don't like this game, they're just going to stop playing it. Unlike the drones on Madden and 2K and shit, and FIFA. I don't think they're exactly the same. You notice there's only Vans, Nikes. I seen somebody in the comments earlier say another red flag, which I didn't even notice, but I'm gonna go ahead and clout you up in the chat. He said another red flag with this game is the lack of skating culture. There's no pro skaters. There's no kind of pro scene. And I was like, you know what? I didn't even think of that. It's just like some creative bullshit, basically. Yeah, like where's the skate culture in this game? Like, it just something is off about this shit, man. I will say one thing that's good about this game, and I'm gonna keep an open mind. Like I said, the data suggesting this could be a disaster, but I'm keeping an open mind because at the end of the day, the game is free. So I will say right here, I will stream this game maybe at least once. If I like it, I'll play it more. I'll try it out on stream at least once because at bare minimum, it's free. If I don't like it, we'll uninstall the shit. That's the good news. And it's coming out on September 16th. I will say September's pretty stacked. September, October for like games or whatever. So, I mean, it's free. We'll at least check it out and like keep an open mind and hope for the best. Unless they sign an NDA, I don't see no skate talk on IG. I still follow pro skaters and they not talking. 20-odd Pro Skater 3.4 is on Game Pass for free. So September 16th, mark your calendars. If you need something to play, you're on a tight budget, there's a free game coming. And hey, guys, it's coming to the PS4, guys. You guys begged for it. So there you go. I just hope they segregate the servers. I don't want to be on servers with PS4 niggas. In other news, but listen, chill. Don't do that. I hope they separate the servers from current gen to last gen, but separate but equal. Okay, guys? Separate but equal. That's all I'm asking for, okay? I'm not asking for them to, you know, skate around on 3/5 of a skateboard, okay, guys? Other news. We got an update on what's going on with the Switch 2. There's been a bit of drama going around the Switch 2 for those unaware. Yeah, no story mode. That's another red flag. It's been reported that Elden Ring runs like dog shit on the Switch 2. It's being reported that Sparking Zero is running at 800p 30 frames, so like dog shit on the Switch 2. And then it's also, we read yesterday that Borderlands 4 is a disaster. It's running like dog shit on the Switch 2. So questions are starting to come up is, The Switch 2 a little underpowered. We're not even a year. We're but 2 months into the lifespan and developers are complaining. And I have another story, unfortunately, to follow that up. Third-party support might not be good on Nintendo platforms once again. Nintendo reportedly almost discouraging Switch 2 development as studios are told to launch games on the Switch 1 and rely on backwards compatibility. A fresh report has detailed the difficulties faced by some developers keen to launch their games for the Switch 2. Developers want to put their games on the Switch 2, but who remain unable to do so due to a lack of support from Nintendo. According to Digital Foundry, Nintendo is still restricting its supply of Switch 2 development hardware, dev kits, and instead telling some studios to launch their titles as Switch 1 games that can be played as via backwards compatibility. So they cannot get their hands on the... So translation, if you're not following, there's a bunch of studios out there that want to put their game on the platform, but they want to take advantage of the new hardware. They want to create an enhanced version of whatever game that they're creating. And Nintendo's like, you don't get a dev kit. Just make a Switch 1 version and then we'll make it run backwards compatibility. Make an ashier version, basically. This has sparked frustration among a number of developers, including at least one major AAA studio unable to launch a Switch 2 native version of the game. While hardware is given to some indie creators, including the team behind a Campfire Simulator, there's been a lot of talk about this lately, that Nintendo seems to almost be discouraging Switch 2 development to some degree. Digital Foundry's John Linneman has said during the team's most recent podcast. I've spoken with plenty of developers where they're told that their game, they should ship it on a Switch 1 and rely on backwards compatibility. There's a lot of developers that are unable to get the Switch 2 dev kits, they said. We talked to a lot of devs at Gamescom this year, and so many of them said the same things. They want to ship on the Switch 2. They would love to do Switch 2 versions. They just can't get the hardware. It's really difficult right now. Now, imagine being part of the Minish Cap Mafia. You're sitting right now in your greasy ass chair in that Link kilt with a Minish Cap, a Master Sword, and a Master Shield. No, you got the Mirror Shield. You sitting there with the Mirror Shield, a kilt, and a Minish Cap on, watching my stream, laughing every time I say something funny, but instead of laughing, you say, hot, hot. And you find out after spending hundreds of dollars on this brand new console that there is going to be a slowdown of games because the developers cannot get the fucking dev kits. This is fucking nasty work to me, man. And you know, the crazy part is it could be a situation where maybe Nintendo just doesn't have a lot of dev kits to give out because parts are due to tariffs are becoming more expensive. So it's becoming more expensive to manufacture these dev kits and hand them out. Maybe they just don't have the resources at the moment. And if that's the case, say it. But because that could actually be the case, say it. But don't say, I think developers would understand due to the current economic situation in the world, we're having a hard time manufacturing enough dev kits to reach the supply, but we'll get to you when we can. It's as simple as that. But it might not be that. It might just be Nintendo don't give a fuck because they telling people, just make it for the Switch 1. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Imagine only having the Switch 2. That would make me get a refund on the system. It makes me want to wait even more to get a Switch 2 because it says to me that there's not going to be a lot of strong support coming to it. This seems so unprepared. Yeah, unprepared, unfortunately. Unprepared. So, what does this say? I don't really know what Nintendo's mindset was in the decisions, according to Digital Foundry. I don't really understand the strategy behind this, like you said. Even now, developers are struggling to get systems. I know that some months ago, we were hearing things through the grapevine and talking to people that there's some weird exclusions with some big developers struggling to get dev kits. What's the controller I use? The game, sir. Nah, they don't care. Number one selling console is worth the investment. Well, it's the number one selling console right now. Because to be fair, it didn't have any competition. Nintendo always does this thing where they release their console either before or after the new Xbox and PlayStation. So the Switch 2 had the benefit of being by itself. It's a new platform. All the people who wanted to buy it day one, they bought it. Because remember, the statistic was the fastest selling new console of all time, meaning it had a strong start. Let's see what it's looking like 2, 3, 4 years down the road. It's I watched a documentary, not a documentary, but a video the other day about the slump in sales with the Cybertruck. And it kind of had the same thing. Tesla stocks aren't doing well because the Cybertruck, nobody's buying that shit. And what they were saying is basically everybody who wanted it, they pre-ordered it, they bought it. And then after that, nobody else wanted that shit. Then you have all the political stuff that he was doing. People don't want to be affiliated with the cars. So you have to keep in mind, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. I mean, there's a whole book about it called Tortoise and the Hare. So we need more time to get better data on it. You know what I'm saying? Bro, the Cybertruck is ugly. That bitch is ugly, bro. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people in my neighborhood that drive them shits. It's always the biggest douchebags that drive that shit. Like every time you see somebody hop out of a Cybertruck, they look exactly like you would think they look like. Lil Peen, just want attention type shit. What up, Cammy? So yeah, that's your update on the Switch 2. Hopefully things improve. PlayStation news. PlayStation CEO doesn't want first-party studios to play it safe, but fail early and cheaply. Translation, he wants you to take risks, but don't make it too much of an expensive risk now. PlayStation CEO wants the company to mitigate expensive risks with future games following last year's high-profile failure of live service shooter Concord. The Cybertruck looks like the OG PS1 Warthog game. It looks like a bad Warthog from fucking Halo. It looks like a terrible version. Speaking to the Financial Times, the CEO reflected on Concord's failure in comparison to the huge success of the mascot platformer Astrobot. I don't want teams to always play it safe, but I would like for us, when we fail, to fail early and cheaply, he said. PlayStation has now put into place more supervision of Sony's own studios to ensure Concord's fate isn't repeated. They spent $200 million for nothing, so now they're watching over everybody, which says to me that Bungie better deliver on that fucking marathon game, or they're gonna be pissed. Shout out to Jig Jig with the super chat, man. We have since put in place more rigorous and more frequent testing in the very many different ways, he said. The advantage of every failure is that people now understand how necessary that oversight is. Analysts estimate Concord cost Sony around $250 million, blah, 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 blah. If you're not following what he's saying what I've been saying for the longest. One of the biggest issues in gaming is there's a bubble, and that bubble has burst. It's too many games out here that are costing $200 to $500 million to make, which means they have a crazy overhead. If your game costs $250 million to make, you have to make $250 million just to break even. These companies want to make a profit. And the reason that these games have ballooned is because they have to hire bigger teams in order to craft all these big open worlds that nobody fucking wants. The solution to this is we need more games like Split Fiction. Games that are 10 to 15 hours, experimental and fun, smaller in scope, more linear. It allows them to be more experimental, express their creativity, but also keeps the overhead down because you don't have to hire as many people. Fucking Expedition 33 is probably going to win Game of the Year. It had 33 people on the dev team. Sometimes less is more. And the best part is, I thought about this earlier this morning because I read this article already. I thought about this earlier this morning. I think one of the reasons why you have so many people giving out this dumbass opinion that gaming is dead is because what I will say is it probably felt like to them there was more variety because there were more experimental. What's the word I'm looking for? Like the PS2 had the biggest game library of all time. And it felt like there were probably more of every of the same type of game, even though most of them were bad, because most of you guys didn't play Vex and Glover and shit like that. So it felt like it, even though but I think we got more of those bad games because people were experimenting more and the budgets were down. There were more smaller scope games, so it probably felt like there was more, even though y'all didn't play most of those fucking games. More ideas that took a chance. Yeah, I guess. Vex was my shit. That's a deep cut. Have you thought about being a search funder? Nah, what's that? Shout out to Booty Scratcher with the 5 gifted subs. But yeah, everything doesn't need to have a big bill to make the game. I think you can make great games with smaller budgets. We'll get more variety, more experiment. Maybe we can get more of what that guy was talking about, because he said he wants 5 Grand Theft Autos a year. We can't get 5 Grand Theft Autos a year if we don't lower the scope on the games. Like even games that were clones of Grand Theft Auto, like what's that joint that took place in New Crime LA, or True Crime LA and True Crime New York. Those games weren't as big as Grand Theft Auto. They definitely borrowed ideas and were inspired by it, but they weren't as big. Saints Row was a straight GTA clone. That was a bigger game. But even games like Mafia, that wasn't as big in scope as Grand Theft Auto. And I think we got more games like that because they were smaller in scope, so they were cheaper to make. Let's just, think about maybe making smaller games. Also, people are getting older. We don't have time to play 100,000 hour games every goddamn day. Hades is one of my favorite games of all time. You could play the same 5 stages. See? One of my favorite games of all time is Star Fox 64. That game, you could beat that game in 30 minutes. You could beat that game in 30 fucking minutes, bro. Everything, I'm not saying every game needs to be 30 minutes, but every game also doesn't need to be 100,000 hours. More time on the game doesn't equate to value. Value, in my opinion, in art is based on how it impacts you. Good art evokes emotion out of you. So like something that evokes emotion and memory and nostalgia into you, that's a good product. It makes you want to go back and play it again. Super Mario 64 is not a super long game, but you know, you see somebody playing it, it makes you happy because it makes you remember those good times. Like, come on, guys. Was it Mario 64 like 2-3 hours? I don't remember how long it wasn't that long though. I don't remember it being that long. The only 70+ hour game I played that didn't bore me at some point is Elden Ring. I feel like, yeah, that's the last like 100-hour game where I was like, I thoroughly enjoyed that shit. And you know the funny part is too, I feel like the business model was already there with the Xbox 360, PS3, and the PS4 era, those 2 eras right there. And what I mean is they could make more smaller scope, linear, semi-open world games, right, at a smaller budget. And if the game succeeds, produce DLC for it. You know the formula's working. It's right there. Shit, Lies of P is a good example. Lies of P was NeoWiz's first game. Lies of P is like, I think 30 hours. They just dropped the DLC. Make a smaller game, and if it's good, make more content for it. We used to get Grand Theft Auto 4, then you got the Gay Ballad of Tony, which is one of the greatest pieces of DLC of all time. We don't get that goofy shit no more because niggas won't stop buying fucking shark cards and get off the goddamn T Grizzly server trying to drop their mixtape that we don't want to hear. Dat Piff is dead. We don't want to hear that shit, bro. The Witcher 3 is over 100 hours left. Yeah, Witcher 3 is a good example. There's a few. Just traded Assassin's Creed Shadows for Metal Gear Solid Delta. Okay. Facts both Lost in the Dam was fire. Replay value. I think that's a good conversation to have in itself. I think the better conversation is, why do people not feel the need to replay their games? And I think that's because a lot of them are like 100+ hours. A good game, you want to replay it. One of the reasons why I was able to replay fucking Mass Effect so many times is because each of those games is only like 15 hours. Like you can beat them in a week if you really wanted to. But like a lot of these games are just such time sinks that like I find myself not replaying much of anything anymore. Not because it wasn't a good game, it's just I don't want to go through that much time again. Who has that type of time? It had mad variety. It did in the decisions you made. It said, but what about the King Von swerve? This is the same article. I think I saved it twice. Quality over quantity. I don't know why that's hard for people to understand, man. I replayed Sonic Generations like 15 times. Yeah, well, you're sick in the head, so what about that Sonic shit? Let me stop just messing with you. Fucking Sonic. That's why I beat Sonic Generations 15 times, actually. Silver, I just can't get enough of that Silver story, man. That guy just keeps coming back from the future. Like Michael J. Fox, man. Why did he get that almanac? Anyways, Riot Games accidentally leaks 2XKO's next playable character. The official Riot Games website officially updated imagery on 2XKO across multiple pages, including the 2XKO support page. However, instead of using character art for one of their 8 fighters already revealed, Blitzcrank suddenly appeared and his addition to the roster was unintentionally confirmed. Is this the image? Because it's not showing. Commencing accidental leak protocol. Blitzcrank in 2XKO is the 9th champion available in the closed beta. Full reveal. That does look like official art. I'm not a League of Legends fan. Is this a big deal? My shout out to Mighty Keith right here. He said fucking clanker. I don't know if I can see that shit. When you damn clanker. To beating Robin's ass. How do we feel about this? I'm not gonna lie. I don't care how much of a hater I come across. I officially stopped caring about this game when they announced Marvel Token. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care how much of an asshole. I'm not saying I'll never touch it. I'm just saying the likelihood of me touching it, I don't know, man. I don't know. Same. Wrong place, wrong time. Yeah, they took too long and I feel like they lost their momentum, man. They lost their momentum. Blitzcrank support was a bitch to play against back in the day. All my League nerds out